Sorry. The tears are real. Just being there is huge. Hello, I'm Lisa, and the MTHFR Dementia Diva channel. And the purpose of this channel is to give people an idea of what it's like for people that have been diagnosed with cognitive impairments, with MTHR, gene mutations, and the things that come along with that, chronic illnesses. And today's video is going to be about things that you maybe say to help and support those loved ones or those friends of yours that have either a chronic illness, maybe they have cognitive impairment, could be any number of things. But these are the things that are helpful to those that have it. So stay tuned. On the other side, I'm going to give you a list of things that are very helpful. Number 1, I am here to support you. This one is a good one to tell somebody that you will be there for them and that you support them. You'll be there whenever if they need you. If there's a hard time, they just want to talk, maybe they just want to hang out, because it can be very lonely to be by yourself and have these impairments. Because it's hard for us to get out and be in the community and go places. Shopping centers sometimes are overstimulating. Grocery shopping is overstimulating. So saying that you'll support someone and just be there for them, even if it's just a phone call or stopping by and watching a TV show with them, any of that is supportive. It seems like it may not be, but believe me, just dropping by and saying, "Here, I brought you a coffee," is a big deal, and shows me that that person is supportive. And so as I went through the community that I talked about in the other video about the Facebook community, and then my friends that have chronic illnesses that are in the area, those are the things that we look for, because these illnesses are very lonely. They're very isolating. And so it is a way to support is simply, "Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to see how you are." And in my case, it'd be, "You want to watch an episode of Doctor Who?" So even those little things like that are support. Number 2, I'm not going to abandon you. Some of you that watch this may find this hard to believe. Others of you are going to say, "Lisa, you're preaching to the choir." But some people can't scatter fast enough whenever you come down with an illness that is permanent. It's not going to get better. It's most likely going to remain the same, or it's going to progress and get worse. And that's when you find out who your true friends are. And so someone that says, "I'm not going to abandon you," they're the people that we know that we can count on. They're the ones that are true friends. They're the ones that are going to be there and hopefully visiting us when we don't know who they are. Because even the emotions last longer than the memories do. So keep in mind that if somebody forgets your name, that does not mean they forget you. Just because they maybe don't remember where they know you from, but they know you, that does not mean that they're emotionally, there's not still that bond. And so someone that says, "I'm not going to abandon you," means that they're going to be there for the whole event. And there's nothing more, there's no bigger blessing on this earth than somebody that will stick by you while you go through these hard times. And we're still able to give support too. It's not a one-way street. You know, I love my friends that have stuck by, and I try to be there for them, and I try to help them too. So it's not a one-way street. But I've also had friends that are supposedly very good friends that since I've gotten sick, my phone has not rung and they have not darkened my doorstep. So now I know who I can count on and who I can't. And there were some surprises and some not surprises, but everybody that goes through these diagnoses, whether it's chronic illness or cognitive impairment or even the mutation, I have 2 copies. If you have 2 copies, there's a whole laundry list of things that you can come from that. Any of those things tend to scare people off. And if you are strong enough to be a person that says, I'm not going to leave, I'm going to be there for you, then please do it. If you're not strong enough, don't say it. Because if you don't mean it, don't say it. But if you're one of those that really loves that person and you really want to be there for them, then by all means, I'm there for you, buddy. I'll be there. Number 3, I love you. Not much to be said about that. We know how that feels when somebody loves us. I've had people say they loved me in the past. They no longer say it, which tells me that they don't like the new me particularly. They like the old me. But if you can say I love you and mean it to a person that's already starting down that road, then tell them I love you. Because there'll come a day where it'll be too late. So say it before it's too late. Number 4, I will be patient with you. Now, this can be either said or just done. Like I spoke in the other video, and hopefully I'll put the link right there. Not being patient makes everything worse. Being patient is just answering the question 5 times and without getting upset. Understanding that that's just part of the problem. But being patient, saying I'll be patient with you, is very helpful. Because if you say I'll be patient, then we know we don't have to worry, because it gets kind of scary. It gets kind of nerve-wracking when you know that you're repeating yourself, but you can't help it because you can't. It's hard to explain. It's when somebody's getting onto you because they get onto you on and on because you're repeating yourself. If you get with a person that doesn't ever get onto you for repeating yourself or saying, I already told you that, that is such a nice thing. It's such a calming thing to be able to talk to somebody and not worry about them getting upset or getting on to me or getting on to anybody for repeating themselves and for telling the same story over again, because they understand that we don't remember. And so that is a very important one. Being patient. Number 5, how can I help? Now, how can I help? You might have to be persistent on this one. The more that the person is trying to be normal, they may say, I don't need any help. Truth is, they do. They may need help in keeping the house clean, cooking. They might need help grocery shopping. They might need help with mowing the lawn or pulling some weeds. They might need help figuring out their checkbook. They might need help any number of ways. They might need help getting dressed. They might need help bathing. They might need help being reminded of their medicine. So one way, if the person with the disability, the invisible disability, and you say, how can I help? And they say, oh no, I'm good. Go spend some time with them, because I'll bet you that you'll find things pretty quickly that aren't getting done that need to be done. And it could be that the person doesn't realize they need that help. But if you offer that help, then that is something that the person can say, that when I get in a bind and I know I'm overwhelmed, I can call them and say, please help me. I personally have had issues where I've lost checks. And like somebody sent me a check for something. I used to write books, so I get a check every once in a while for like royalty or something. So I lost the check. And so I was tearing the house apart because I couldn't find it, and it was one of those I just could not relax till I found it. And I called a friend of mine and I said, help, I can't find this check. She came over, calmly came in, found it within 5 minutes, and then we sat down and watched a TV show. So a lot of times you can help just by being around. But ask them, how can I help? Number 6, may I sit with you for a while? Sounds simple, but it is so wonderful to just have somebody sit next to you and chat. You might be talking about the weather, might not be talking about anything. Might be telling your story over and over again, who knows. But just, can I sit with you for a while? Absolutely. Absolutely. That is probably one of the biggest things I think that somebody can do for you is just be willing to sit with you. When hospital, I have recurring TIAs. I am in the hospital frequently. I probably am in the hospital maybe at least once, if not twice a year, and sometimes more than that, depending on whether or not the blood thinners are working and the clots are going through. But now I don't have people come to the hospital. I don't have people that visit. It's almost to the point, well, you're only allowed 4 visits, and once you get to the 5th, we're not going to come see you anymore. We're not going to send a card, and we're sure not going to, put you on the prayer list. It's one of those things that sit with them, whether it's at a ball game, whether it's at a meeting, maybe it's at the hospital. But just being there. Sorry, the tears are real. Just being there is huge. Number 7. Moving on. Can we get together? Can we get together? Maybe over coffee and chat. Maybe we can go out for lunch. Maybe we can watch a TV show. Maybe we can go to a movie. Maybe we can just go hang out at the park, sit on the bench. Maybe we can just sit on the porch. But can we just get together for a while? Yes, let's get together for a while. How about we just get together for a while? Spending time with those in this community can be rewarding. You may not think so, may not feel like it, but think of the difference that you make in someone's life. So those of you that are caretakers, you know all this stuff is true. And for people that aren't caregivers, I just want to put this in. If you know somebody that's caregiving, it's a terribly hard job. Give them a break. Go over and sit with the person. Spend some time with the person. Let them go out and have a good time with their friends. And you just give them a night off or a day off or a couple hours off by hanging out. And you're not only helping the person that with the chronic illness, but you're helping the person that's taking care of the person with the chronic illness. Just think about that. Just 2 hours out of your year, out of your month, out of your lifetime would mean so much to two people. So look for somebody in your community that you know that has a caregiver. Give the caregiver a couple hours off and just hang out. And not everybody that has a caregiver needs the bathroom taken care of and that kind of stuff. Just hang out. Make sure everybody's safe and okay. And last but not least, number 8, which is probably one of the most important and sums up all the other 7 together. Actions speak louder than words. By doing the things we talked about in the last 7 and actually going through with those, visiting with people, coming over, seeing what they need done, not just asking, but maybe just showing up, visiting them, sitting with them when they need it, helping the caregiver, give them some time off, give them some time to relax and rejuvenate. All those things are things that help us. And like I said, actions speak louder than words. So maybe you come over to their house, go over to their home, help them get organized, help them kind of set up a routine, make sure they have calendars, make sure that they're getting filled out, make sure their medicine's been laid out. Don't even have to do that. Just come over and hang out. See where there's maybe piles of bills and say, well, let's get a shoebox. You find a shoebox, put the bills in a shoebox. At least whoever's taking care of the bills, then if they're not living there and they have to come over, they can find it. Just things like that. Actually going and not rushing people. Maybe somebody's coming up and they're repeating themselves, or they're trying to figure out how to pay the bill and they're counting money, but it's taking them a really long time to figure out their money. Don't rush. Just wait for them to figure it out. When they're having a hard time finding the word, just wait. That's showing patience. And you just wait, and then you respond. If you think of the word and they're really struggling, you might help with the word. But you're not getting aggravated. You're not rushing. You are being patient with those that have cognitive issues. That's an action that is showing that you care. Coming to their house, visiting them in the hospital, inviting them out to lunch, inviting them out for, well, in my case, a pop, but a coffee or something is, we can go out in public. We can still get cleaned up and brush our hair and get dressed and go out in public. It's not, we no longer are hidden in the back room. So, yes, just by inviting us, that is showing us that you care. If you don't feel comfortable saying I love you, being there, showing up, doing things, sitting with, watching a show, playing a game, a board game, shows that you love and care for that person. If you don't feel comfortable saying it, show it. If you don't feel comfortable saying, how can I help? Just show up to their house and start helping them. They'll figure it out. Okay? It's the same thing. Actions speak louder than words. I tried to teach that to my children. It doesn't matter what you say. Actions speak louder than words. So, with that, I hope that was helpful. I wanted to give you some positive things that you could say, because I felt like I was being kind of hard on you with what you can't say, and I didn't mean to be. It was just one of those things. Sure enough, you can still tell us that we look nice. We don't mind that. It's just as it being it's as a response to being told that we have, whatever the illness is, whatever the disability is. Well, you look good. Okay, I wanted to make that clear. Also, we love you. My community of people with chronic illnesses and mild cognitive impairment and gene mutations that cause all kinds of health problems. We love you. You don't have to work hard to gain our trust and to gain our love. Okay. Just have to show up. Show up to the party, as they say. And so it's not really that hard. When you don't know what to say, these are some things you can say. Those 8 things that I listed. Okay. So when you don't know what to say, I'm going to peek over on my list, my handy dandy chart here, because I'm having trouble remembering anything today. But remember, 1, I'll be there. I'll be here for you. I'll do my best to be here for you. Number 2, I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not running off. 3, I love you. 4, I'll be patient with you. 5, how can I help? 6, may I sit with you for a while? Can we hang out? 7, how about getting together just for a visit? How about getting together for coffee? How about getting together for a walk? Okay, that's easy, right? And always remember, actions speak louder than words. And with that, thank you for sticking around and watching this video. Please subscribe if you found this helpful in any way. Click the bell and it'll notify you whenever I upload a new video. And thank you very much. I am so thankful for those of you that are watching. I am so thankful for those of you that are commenting. I don't know how to tell you how much I do appreciate you. I really do. When people leave comments, I feel like I have new friends through YouTube and through the interaction in the comments. So feel free to leave a comment below. And subscribe if you'd like. And thank you if you've already subscribed and you have been watching and you're watching at this point. In the comments, put the word yellow so that I know you made it to the end. Yellow. That will be our clue word that you have watched to this part. And so with that, I'm going to let you go and say, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.